Fiber broadband access today is basically the fastest growing technology out there. We will be getting 1 billion households connected by 2025. Why fiber? It has to do with future safeness. You invest once and you can keep on using it for 70 years or even more. It's about the high bandwidth. You virtually have unlimited bandwidth on fiber. And it's about the green aspect. It's the most power efficient solution that you can find out there on the market. Broadband access networks have evolved in a very significant way over the last 40 years. Typically, when we talk about networks, we talk about the big network which is connecting cities, countries, continents. And this is fairly easy to do because it's a limited amount of connections. When you talk about broadband access networks, this is basically making sure that all businesses, all consumers get connected to the big network. Here you talk about millions, billions, and this is a very hard thing to do. So today, when you look at operators, they are basically deploying fiber with the intent to serve the consumers. And hence you pass each and every street. In all those locations, you have other sort of businesses. So you have real enterprises, you have hospitals, you have schools, you have university. They all want data connectivity. So as you pass them by, it's very easy to leverage the existing infrastructure to add up those sort of additional services. So you're no longer using a fiber infrastructure just for consumers, but for an awful lot of other services. And that's one of the key elements of fiber for everything. There are three enablers for fiber for everything. One of them is speed, the second one is slicing, the third is massive automation. If you look at speed, once you start offering a service beyond the consumer service, you need to have the sheer bandwidth to be able to add those additional services. The capacity that you have on a fiber network is virtually unlimited. We have made the network programmable. And this programmability allows you to do slicing. So you're basically divvying up your network into smaller slices, and on each of the slices you run a dedicated service. On top of that, if something is going wrong in your network, you want to be able to zoom in and just explore what's going on only on that piece of the network. So if something is going wrong with traffic steering and the traffic lights are no longer working, you better zoom in directly on the traffic lights and see what's going on. The last element is about massive automation. So if you think about the network where you keep on adding new devices all the time, you can no longer manage this from a manual perspective. And hence you need the capability to automate this in a massive way. So fiber for everything has quite some benefits. So if you look at it from a revenue perspective, an operator has rolled out his fiber broadband network just for the residentials. And suddenly, because it is passing everywhere, he can start hooking up new services, almost without any additional cost. So it's just some end devices, which is peanuts. The second thing is, you can expect that there is going to be a cost reduction because you're leveraging the same equipment, and rather than maintaining separate networks, you maintain one network. And then last but not least, that it's much more power efficient than any other technology out there. To date, we have 450 operators who are delivering a 1 gigabit per second service. It's the ability for a consumer to download his favorite episode in 3 seconds. This is enormous, very fast. 90 of the operators are actually delivering multi-gigabit service, so 2 gigabit, 5 gigabit, 8 gigabit, 10 gigabit even. So I truly believe that the world will evolve to fiber for everything, everywhere.